So Figma just released a new MCP tool that lets you transform your local app into Figma frames via Claude Code. So I'm going to show you in 5 minutes how to use it, what are the deliberate limitations of this setup, but also why it is, for me, a huge step forward. So let's dive in. This new MCP tool is called Generate Figma Design, so it's been updated inside Figma's documentation. It's a big change because that's actually the first tool that actually works from the app to Figma. While the other tools that are accessible currently all do work from Figma to the app. So it also works for now only for Claude Code, and it works for an app that runs locally. Let's dive a little bit more into the details of how it works. So you have a local server where your app is running. What it does is that it's going to actually, the first time, add a small script to your app's frontend so that when Figma's MCP server is called, it can read the DOM and then fetch the elements from the DOM and push it to a Figma file. So for those who do not know what the DOM is, these are actually the HTML elements that you can retrieve from the front end of your application. So here I have Vibe Coding Academy's app running on a local environment, and here, as you can see inside the elements, we have access to the DOM. And what Figma's MCP server is going to do is that it's going to fetch all these elements here and transform them into Figma screens so that you can build new screens directly inside Figma. You can leverage any other features like generating prototypes, using Figma Make, etc., etc. Okay, so let's dive into the implementation now. So let's jump to Claude Code here that I directly use from Cursor. So as you can see, we do have our local server running here. And what I have for you is a ready-to-use prompt that's going to create a Claude Code skill that will be called whenever I request Claude Code to actually push some local app code to a Figma frame. So here it is. It will be available inside the resources under this video. And basically, it's going to create, as you can see, a Claude Code skill called Code to Figma Design, and it's actually going to implement those various steps, notably this specific script, and it's also going to give some instructions about calling up this specific Figma Generate Figma Design tool that has just been added. Just to check that we are correctly connected also to Figma MCP tool, let's just dive into a new session here. So let's open up Claude again here. Let's open up the list of MCPs. And as we can see here, we are correctly connected to Figma MCP, and we should have the tool Generate Figma Design available. Okay, so I think we are all good. The skill is available now. So let's now actually ask Claude Code to actually push some code from the local app that is running on this port here. So let's actually say, let's push the index page from Vibe Coding Academy to the following Figma file. So we have like a blank Figma file here that we want to fill out with the frames coming up from this index page. So it's going to run, and we're going to see how that works. All right, so it automatically opened up a new page. Actually the page that we are looking to push, and as you can see, it is currently sending the code to Figma, sent to Figma here, as you can see. So that's a built-in widget from Figma, and as you can see, now we have the frames that are automatically added to Figma. So it's quite amazing because, I mean, not only did it manage to push and to transform the code into frames, but it's also structured in such a way that it's like sustainable for a design team to work on top of it, because it uses like auto layout and, I mean, all the best practices for some design teams, some professionals to actually work on top of that. So that's great. One other thing that we can do as well, as you can see, is that you can also select an element and also sync it directly. So let's say that we want to sync this element here. As you can see, it also sends this element here. So also that means that you can focus on specific components that you want to add to your Figma frames. Let's actually now synchronize this other page that I have, which is actually my design system page. So for now, my the design tokens that I use for Vibe Coding Academy are only available inside my code, inside this specific page that is quite comprehensive with all the design components that I use on the app, but I want to have it inside Figma so that I can leverage some features to handle and better maintain my Figma design. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to ask to do the same for the specific page. So do the same for the design system page. So as you can see, I can call directly the design system page here, and hopefully it's going to work as well. All right, and now let's have a look at it here. So yeah, as you can see, all the elements from my design system page have been added here. So I now have all my design token elements that are available inside Figma. So that's pretty neat. So that's useful for vibe coders like me who are solopreneurs and who tend to actually ditch using Figma. But I think it can be also useful for teams where they are maybe product designers prototyping new features directly from the base inside Claude Code or Cursor. Maybe a front engineer would end up adding a new component on a new feature, which would mean that these new corresponding components should be added to Figma, and this kind of tool can be used for that. So that's a good step forward. However, we are still missing the most important piece that I think everyone is expecting. It's actually being able to generate frames and update frames directly from Claude Code. What we want is that we want to ditch the need to use various like shortcuts and like drag and drops to design, and we want actually an AI to do that for us. Fearing that with such features, designers would actually ditch using the most important features from Figma. I think the future will only say, but I'm curious to have your opinion about this inside the comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks again. So will Figma roll out such feature in the future? The future will only tell. I'm curious to know your opinion about this. Do you think that Figma is going to enable designers to actually design from Claude Code, or do they still want designers to keep leveraging features from Figma? Curious to have your opinions. Please drop them in the comments or reach out to me if you want to share directly your opinion with me. Thanks again for your attention, and I'll see you in the next one.